2015 junior cert ordinary level. This is coordinate geometry question. And the first thing, so it has given us a diagram, but I've just roughly drawn out the diagram, and it says write the coordinates of A. So if we want to have coordinates, well, we're going to have an X point and a Y point. The X point is how far we go along the horizontal axis, so the horizontal axis is the X axis, and then the Y point is how much we go upwards, so that's the vertical axis, or the Y can be, this is the positive Y axis, down here is the negative, this is the positive X, this is the negative X. So we have to look for A. It's went across 1, so if we draw a line to both axes, it has went across 1, so our X value is 1, and has went up 4, so our Y value is 4. If we have a look at B, it's went, if we draw lines from B to the axes, it's went across 6, so the X one comes first, and then it's went up 2, so it's going to be 6, 2. And then find the length of AB. So it wants to get the length. So if we want to get, we have a formula to get the distance between 2 points, and it's x2 minus x1, the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So the distance or length is going to be x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So we have to label either one x1, y1 and x2, y2. So it doesn't matter which one we pick. So let's call this x1, y1 and this x2, y2. So the distance between them is going to be x2 minus x1, so x2 is 6, minus x1, so minus 1, and that's squared, plus y2, which is 2, minus y1, so minus 4, and that's squared. So 6 minus 1, well, that's going to be 5, and that's going to be squared. And then 4, 2 take 4, and that's going to be minus 2 squared. So the square root of 5 squared is 25, and 2 squared, well, a minus by a minus gives us a plus, so it's going to be 4. So then if we add those two together, we'll get the square root of 29, and that is the length of this, and they asked to have it as a square root, so we get the square root of 29. And then we're told C is the point minus 4, 1. So C is minus 4, 1, and we're asked to plot C. So across on the x-axis we go across minus 4, and then we go up 1. So it's across minus 4 and then up 1. So this is a negative x. So this is C. And then label C clearly. Find the slope of CA. So the slope, so here is CA. So C is minus 4, 1, and A is 1, 4. The thing about the slope, the equation for a slope is also in our log tables, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But we always have to take the slope as we go from left to right. So say if we go from left to right here, it's going to have a positive slope. But here it's going to have a negative slope. So we always go from left to right. So whichever point is closest to the left, we have to pick as our x1, y1. So this one here is closest to the left. So we're going to have to pick this as our x1, y1, and this as our x2, y2. So then I'll just write out the points we had. So we had minus 4, 1 was our x1, y1, and then 1, 4 was our x2, y2. So it's going to be y2 minus y1. So 4 minus 1 over x2, which is 1, minus x1, so minus 4. And then 4 take 1 is going to be 3. And minus by a minus gives me a plus, so it's going to be 1 plus 4. So that's going to be 3 over 5. So that's our slope of CA, the line CA. So we got the slope of that. So that is our question for that. Thank you.